businesses are trying to navigate the rapidly changing and complex global environment. So is this a critical time for the professional services industry? Fresh from ringing the NASDAQ bell in support of International Women's Day, let's bring in Kathy Engelbert. She is Deloitte's CEO-elect. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, David. So happy to be here today.
All right. So is this a more challenging time than it would have been 10 years ago or 15 years ago? And if so, why?
I think, David, what we're seeing is companies looking at a rapid pace of change based on technological changes, the digital economy. We're also seeing regulatory change, globalization, volatility in commodities and foreign currency. So companies are trying to balance all these challenges and make sure they grow and grow profitably.
And what should they be focused on then as they try to navigate that, as we said at the outset, very complex world that perhaps is somewhat new to them?
I think what they're really focused on, again, is evolving with this pace of change, using technology as an enabler instead of making it disrupt the business. And I think those companies that figure that out and figure it out quickly and have the right strategy to deal with cloud and cyber and digital and everything else that is involved, those are the ones that are going to get ahead, view it as an enabler of their business to, again, drive their growth and success.
Kathy, I think it's timely that you're coming in here on International Women's Day as the first woman in charge of a major accounting or consulting company. Why aren't we seeing more of that? And the banks, the big banks and the financial firms, why don't we see more female CEOs?
Yeah, and Sarah, it is great to be here on International Women's Day. The UN has a great UN women's program. There's empowerment principles. And I think the conversation has to just keep going around women in business, women believing that they can have a successful, high-performing career. So I see lots of positive signs, very optimistic. I see a lot of our clients making strides in women empowerment, economic empowerment as well. So really optimistic about where we're going.
Kathy, will you do anything material at Deloitte to better promote women within that organization?
Yes, Simon, we have a great initiative for the retention and advancement of women. I intend to, this is really my becoming the CEO is a testament to our long commitment to diversity and inclusion, and I intend to really focus and really pay that forward for our future diverse leaders at Deloitte.
Do you think it's a wage issue, Kathy? Because as I understand it, women still make 80-something percent of what men earn. And in financial services in particular, that number's a lot lower, 60 to 70%. Why is there such a gap with everything that's being done, with the awareness that's being brought to this kind of issue? And what can you do as you consult with all of these companies, particularly in the financial center?
I think this is a conversation we must continue to have about wage inequality. And I think the conversation obviously has been started. And I really think this is about women making sure that they raise their hand, they're building all their capabilities, getting assignments that ultimately will really close this gap to close to zero.
Forgive me. Is there a difference, Kathy, since you clearly know financial services extremely well, is there a difference between being within an accounting function or being within a consulting function and being at an investment bank? Because that's really, I think, where a lot of women particularly struggle with the boys.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I think whether you're in investment banking or whether you're in the Fortune 500, and depending on what level you are, I think for women it's about knowing that we can do this, we can raise families, we can take care of elder parents, and we can balance it all. So I think it comes down to that and taking the opportunities and stepping out of comfort zones to build capabilities so that women are considered for promotions and are considered for leadership roles, and we are very committed to that at Deloitte.
Kathy, back to the broader trends you're seeing from some of your client base. How optimistic are they? How much hiring do they plan to do in this year ahead?
I think here in the U.S., I see lots of optimism. Certainly here at Deloitte, we'll probably hire 24,000 people over the next year. We're looking for all different types of diverse skill sets, including data scientists and STEM graduates, as well as our traditional accounting, audit, and tax business. So, and I also see we serve over 80% of the Fortune 500, and we're really seeing some optimism in the U.S. on making sure that they're developing their own people into the workforce and making sure they are, again, driving their own success and growth and profitable growth.
More than you've seen in the past? Can you just quickly put it in some perspective for me? Has it been typical of years past, or is it an uptick?
I think there's definitely an uptick in the U.S. Now, the challenges are globally, but in the U.S., I think there's an uptick in hiring. There's an uptick in transforming businesses, using technology as an enabler, but certainly from a jobs perspective, really see an uptick in U.S. jobs.
But Kathy, why isn't it better? Why aren't they raising wages and spending more on their businesses with interest rates at zero and now the unemployment rate at 5.5%?
Yeah, I think that is the challenge with the unemployment jobs report from last week looking good, but the wage issue not being where we all want it to be. So that's an issue of building skill sets for higher wage jobs and driving that into our economy. And when we have a better economy, people make more and people are driving to their own success and development. So I think that will all be part of the confidence in the U.S. economy that we're looking forward to.
Kathy, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate being here today.
You're welcome.